gonna say? I can't believe what you're alluding to, Max. Let it out. Let it out. What are you trying to say?
This is my hot take. You just calm down. He is a great, great fighter. A good big man doesn't beat a great little man. It takes something more than a good big man to do that, and Lopez is more than just good.
Punches are not made, they are born. And this guy, Lopez, was born to punch. And he's got one other thing going for him, Steven and Max. He reminds me of Pacquiao, Lopez, in a way, not just with power in either hand, but his closing step, his ability to explode. You know, kind of like an athlete in football, basketball, any of those sports where it's not about running a 40, it's about the quickness, it's about the closing step, the burst. He's got that burst. Not everybody's got that burst.
Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman opened the discussion by breaking down the highly anticipated matchup between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. Both analysts frame the fight as more than just a clash of two champions, they describe it as a collision of contrasting boxing philosophies. On one side stands Shakur Stevenson, known for elite technical precision, defensive mastery, and high-level ring intelligence. On the other is Teofimo Lopez, a fighter defined by explosive power, speed, and raw athletic aggression. From the start, the debate centers on whether skill and control can overcome power and intensity.
New York City, January 31st, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. I always say it, when boxing gets it right, no other sport comes close. And this is boxing getting it right. The best fighting the best. Both fighters believe that this matchup settles the argument about who leads the new era. So what do we think of the styles matchup, guys? This is a high-speed chess match a la Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker, Leonard and Benitez, or Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt, or is it a Jerry versus Jerry?
Stephen A. Smith highlights an often overlooked aspect of Teofimo Lopez's game, his defense. Smith explains that Lopez is not simply a forward-charging puncher, but a fighter with fast reflexes and sharp defensive instincts. In tight exchanges, Lopez is able to slip punches, roll with shots, and create countering opportunities. According to Smith, these quick defensive reactions could be crucial against a precision-based fighter like Stevenson.
Sure to show the world that at 23 years of age, I'm a champion, and you're gonna have to come take this from me. I'm not giving you a damn thing. I loved his quickness. We know about Lopez's power, but I'm talking about his quickness defensively. But I saw Lopez being elusive, and I love that because it's one thing for you to have the power and the quickness to go along with the power offensively. A lot of guys can look good until they get hit. There were times where he got hit, and there were other times where he was.
Smith continues by emphasizing Lopez's history of rising to the occasion on the biggest stages. He points to Lopez's dominant victory over Vasily Lomachenko as proof that Lopez is not intimidated by elite competition. Smith argues that when the pressure is highest and the spotlight is brightest, Lopez tends to elevate his performance rather than shrink from the moment.
His footwork is exceptional. It's practically unrivaled. So you could see what he's done to numerous fighters, which contributed to them quitting, like Nicholas Walters and others. He tried that with Lopez. It didn't work. Lopez's footwork worked. His speed was there. Some power, obviously. But his elusivity is what impressed me most. The fact that he was able to slip a number, not all, but a number of those pitches.
He wouldn't let Lomachenko establish his outside foot.
And I loved it.
Yeah, for me, coming into this fight, obviously I always talk to Max about fighting. I love it. I was thinking, and Lopez mentioned it pre-fight, everybody thought it was going to be very Mayweather-Canelo when they fought, and that he would be outclassed. If you look at the first 6 rounds, it was about patience. He was patient. He didn't rush himself. He used his jab, which is something that we aren't used to seeing.
Teddy Atlas joins the conversation alongside Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, offering a more technical perspective. Atlas argues that Teofimo Lopez's biggest challenge lies in facing one of the best pound-for-pound technicians in boxing. He stresses that while Lopez possesses elite athleticism and power, those attributes alone may not be enough against a fighter as fundamentally sound and disciplined as Shakur Stevenson.
Challenge lies ahead for Lopez this upcoming weekend.
What challenge? The challenge of fighting, for me, my estimation, the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Either him or Crawford. You choose it, it doesn't matter. You can flip-flop either one of them. They're the two top guys. The challenge is to get his bomb to the target. Yeah, like Customano, my mentor, used to say, you know, Teddy, having power is great, but if you don't have a means to get it to the target, it has no value. It's like a military weapon, he used to say. If you don't have a missile, it just blows up and makes a big hole in the ground. So that's the challenge. Get it to the target. Get it to the chin or the body. This might be a good idea with a guy who moves his head so much, but get it to the target with Lomachenko. So keep yourself together mentally with all that going on, with all the chaos stuff coming at you, and don't get discouraged, don't get frustrated.
Max Kellerman strongly emphasizes that Shakur Stevenson doesn't simply win fights, he neutralizes opponents. Kellerman explains that Stevenson's footwork, distance management, and anticipation allow him to control the rhythm of every fight. Opponents are often forced to fight at Shakur's pace, unable to establish momentum or launch sustained offense.
There's one of those guys and who comes along, and I think this is really the question about him. I said he is one of those. Is he one of those guys? Like Purnell, like Roy, like Floyd, their defenses were so good, and they boxed in a way where they weren't going to take unnecessary risks. They weren't running and holding. You know, I had a problem with the second half of the Haney-Norman fight because I felt like they continue to box. Purnell did, Roy did, and Shakur does now, right? But when a guy has those advantages in boxing skill and speed, and they don't take risks, they are almost impossible to beat. So no matter who Purnell was fighting, no matter who Roy was fighting, if someone would have asked me who they're going to be, they're fighting Godzilla, Purnell. They're fighting Roy. Shakur has that look to me, and the style.
Kellerman acknowledges that both fighters are highly skilled but makes an important distinction. Shakur Stevenson is not a traditional knockout puncher. Instead, Stevenson wins through precision, defensive awareness, and tactical control. His victories are built on clean counters, positioning, and minimizing risk rather than chasing knockouts.
Here is that they're both twitchy, they're both fast, they're both excellent boxers. Teo's a puncher. I know it hasn't shown up in recent fights, but we have watched both of their careers. Shakur is not a puncher.
No, Teo is.
Teo it can be an explosive, I hit you with a shot you don't see, and you are out cold type puncher.
And talking about power, strength too. I think Teo's going to be the much stronger guy in it. Shakur Stevenson's not a strong guy.
I think he's getting strong.
Me too. I was about to say.
Agree.
But this is his first fight at 140 though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not disrespecting
I feel
strength.
like, but I also feel like that Shakur might surprise you, Mike, with his physical strength. Physical strength, as we all know, doesn't always translate to punching power.
Sure, of course not.
But when he was a younger fighter, he looked like he could be moved around by his opponent. It doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah, no, he's definitely matured in his body. But first fight at 140, Teo's what? I think this is maybe his fifth fight at 140? Something like that?
That's true, but Shakur has a frame where he can put on 140.
Max Kellerman also points out the psychological dynamics of the matchup. He believes Shakur enters the fight with more pressure due to his undefeated record and reputation as a technical master. Teofimo Lopez, by contrast, has more to gain as the underdog. With lower expectations and higher opportunity, Lopez becomes a dangerous and unpredictable opponent.
An advantage there where Shakur is fighting to protect that perfect record, to protect that kind of sense that he's the next guy. On the other hand, Teo is like he can fight with more abandon against Shakur because there's so much for him to gain. And if he loses, he's lost before.
Shakur Stevenson himself has openly discussed how significant this fight is to his career. He views the matchup as a chance to prove that he belongs among the very best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. For Stevenson, this is not just another title defense, it is a defining moment.
The fight with Teo is either going to be you delivering a masterclass,
or a knockout by Teo.
Yeah, or you getting into some type of brawl with Teo and end up getting knocked out, right? What are fans getting wrong about the matchup?
I think the fans is getting wrong about the matchup is where I'm not sleeping on that I know about Teo. Teo's a good boxer. He's boxer first. So we can say, oh, he's just going to knock you out. He's just going to... That's not him. He's boxing first. He's going to want to establish distance and range on the outside. and try to beat me up on the outside. So I think that's the main thing. And also the biggest thing that everybody don't realize with me, I can punch. Everybody say, oh, he can't punch, and then boom, crack somebody, and then they laying down, or something may happen to where they hurt or something like that. So I think
Many boxing experts describe Stevenson versus Lopez as a fascinating tactical puzzle. Strategy, timing, and energy management are expected to play major roles in determining the outcome. Analysts believe that even small adjustments could swing the fight in either direction.
I don't think that Shakur is going to come out and try to fight or take the fight to Teo in the first 6 rounds at all. So if he's fighting off the back foot, if Teo can make it so that he's convincingly, or he's convinced at least Shakur that he may have won 4 of the first 6 rounds, you know, if it's 4-2 in Shakur's mind going into the second half of the fight, or if I'm looking at him stealing those first 6 rounds, then it's an interesting fight going into the tail end, because Teo, to me, is a front runner, right? I want to see if he can carry his energy and his explosiveness late in the fight and not wear down. And then when Shakur starts to open up, you know, can you steal some of those championship rounds from him and make it like a close fight? I think if Teo comes out and does what he usually does, which is try to swarm Shakur early and keep Shakur on the defensive early, then he can try to steal a lot of those early rounds. And if he does,
Teofimo Lopez is often described as a fast starter who relies on mid-range explosiveness, sharp counters, and early pressure. However, some analysts question whether Lopez can maintain that intensity over a full 12 rounds. If his output slows in the later championship rounds, it could allow Stevenson to take control and turn the fight in his favor.
If I'm looking at the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, and Teo looks like he's losing those rounds convincingly, then it's an easy night for Shakur, unanimous decision in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Teo is going to bring anything late in the game, you know what I mean, to this fight. I think if he is who he's always been, you know, he's going to get gassed after like the 7th round and then take some rounds off. And when he does that, Shakur will open up and start to try to pick him apart, pot shot him, and do things like that. But this is the perfect fight, narrative-wise, for Shakur, because I've been waiting for Shakur to get into that fight where, you know, he doesn't have the fight where, he doesn't have his Diego Corrales fight, you know what I mean, where you think he's actually in danger. Shakur has been he's been outclassing everybody he's in the ring with. You know what I mean? Then the guys that you think can give him some work, like De Los Santos, I know people hate when I bring that fight up, but I want to see him actually in.
Boxing insiders believe matchups like Stevenson versus Lopez are exactly what the sport needs. Legendary former champion Roy Jones Jr. has called the potential fight a true skill-for-skill battle, comparing it to elite-level showdowns such as Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. According to Jones, fights of this caliber restore credibility to boxing by putting the best fighters against each other in their prime.
Here, Shakur and Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson getting it on in about 3.5 weeks or something like that. Also on the undercard is Keyshawn Davis, but the main event. Let's jump into the main. Tell me what you're thinking.
You got an ultimate skill fighter versus a boxer who's twitchy, and twitchy sometimes beats out skills. Sometimes that's the side that can really beat a straight up boxer to me. Somebody who's twitchy, because they don't fight, as normally as most boxers fight. They give angles, body movement, bouncing around like a Lomachenko would done, even a Crawford does. You know what I'm saying? Moves different angles and so forth. That's why they can beat.
Analysts agree that both Stevenson and Lopez bring championship experience, star power, and strong motivation into the ring. Their contrasting styles, Stevenson's technical precision, defense, and ring IQ versus Lopez's power, speed, and aggression, create a high-stakes, must-see matchup. These types of fights fuel debate, build anticipation, and capture both casual and hardcore fans alike.
Who's gonna show up what day? What's Shakur showing up? What Teo's gonna show up? You get what I'm saying?
Shakur gonna always be Shakur. The offense that we saw from him in his last fight was just, he knew what he had in front of him, and eventually he knew that he was gonna be in a position where he could have his way with the kid who was in the ring. I'm losing his name off the top of my head.
Right, I know you're talking about. But I believe he fought that way because he started hearing all the call of him running. He started saying, you know what, let me stay in the pocket. Because he stood in the pocket a lot more than he normally stood in the pocket with that fight. You know what I'm saying?
It took some unnecessary shots.
Huh?
It took unnecessary shots.
Well, okay, right. Mm-hmm. But you see what kind of fan base he got after that, too. The doubters started saying, you know what, I'm going to roll with him more. Because we were getting tired of him running and skillfully beating people. That gets boring. Like Mayweather did his last.
Shakur Stevenson's boxing style is often criticized as boring, but many experts argue that Label misunderstands the craft behind his approach. Stevenson relies on elite footwork, precise counters, and defensive mastery rather than reckless aggression. While some fans prefer knockouts and constant exchanges, Stevenson prioritizes control and strategy, making him extremely difficult to hit and highly effective against top-tier opponents.
Y'all scared of Shakur.
Nobody's scared of Shakur, bro.
I think y'all be ducking
Shakur's scared of his shadow, bro.
I think y'all be ducking Shakur.
Shakur, you see his last fight?
It's one the fans want to see, though.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Stop hyping up Shakur.
I want to see Ryan and Shakur.
I've
Devin
not
and
heard
Shakur.
that at all.
Yeah.
I've never
You wouldn't want to see that?
I never heard. Hey, nobody on the street has ever been like, yo, Shakur, you would be crazy.
Who should Shakur Stevenson fight next?
I don't think he should fight at all ever again because he just puts the fans to sleep and he's not doing anything entertaining for the damn sport. Honestly, just pick him out of boxing, bro. He's horrible.
God damn.
I'm asking you this. You think Dana would put up with Shakur? He'd be the first one to get kicked out of the UFC, right or wrong?
I will say this. You're right. Dana definitely wants, because it's a promotion, it's an entertainment company.
Okay, boxing's an entertainment company too. He ain't doing the sport a favor, so kick him out.
How would that fight between him and David Haney go?
Honestly, man, if you want to get off to that, man, you're better off watching like Gabe.
Former world champion Amir Khan has also acknowledged Stevenson's technical brilliance. Khan explains that even if Shakur's style isn't always exciting for casual fans, his precision, defense, and ring IQ represent the true essence of boxing. Khan emphasizes that slipping punches, controlling range, and outthinking an opponent are marks of elite mastery.
That Shakur gets, like people say that he's
boring and all that.
he's not entertaining.
I mean, look, he's like an Andre Ward style. Andre Ward wasn't really that entertaining, but got the win. I mean, that's what boxing is all about. So I used to love watching Andre Ward fight because it was so punch perfect. I watched his footwork, how he moved to the right, to the left, and I trained with him as well, with Virgil. And I used to watch how he trained and how he fought, and I thought how he puts his hands there and uses it as a defense, and then pulls your hands down and catches you over the top, and them little things. So this is a fight that people get, because you got two different styles. You got an offensive, defensive in Lopez, and you've got a defensive.
Stevenson has been outspoken about his preparation and mindset heading into a potential fight with Lopez. Throughout training camp, he has expressed how sharp, disciplined, and focused he feels, suggesting fans will see the best version of him yet. While he respects Lopez's power and athleticism, Stevenson believes Lopez's aggressive style will create openings that can be exploited with timing and precision.
But it sent a message to the fans, but I think it also did something for you to prove to yourself that, man, listen, that wasn't like my best performance, but I showed you I can get it out the mud. What did that performance kind of do for you now that you look back at it?
Honestly, I think like style-wise, I think that Zepeda's style is the style that's supposed to give me the most trouble. Like guys that box and give me time to think is the guys that's gonna have a fit with me all night. But the guys who press me and put me against the ropes and throw a million punches, that's the style that's supposed to give me trouble. So I went out there and I prevailed against that style, and now I'm fighting against a boxer, which for me it just makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with a guy trying to like wear me down.
Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez approaches the fight with renewed confidence and purpose. He describes feeling mentally sharp and physically strong, fully aligned with his preparation. Rather than feeling burdened by expectations, Lopez embraces the spotlight, viewing this moment as the stage he was built for. His mindset reflects maturity, hunger, and belief in his full arsenal.
It's limitless, so then again, it's like I could always succeed to another level with it, and exceed to it. So it's really just trying to just keep it going, keep moving forward throughout the whole time and throughout the whole process, and mainly just have fun with it. You gotta have fun with what you do. I love this. I haven't stopped doing what I've done because of the fact that I enjoy what I do. This has been 20 years in the making, 20 years in this. And I have so much to do and so much to prove within myself. So mentally, I'm prepared. Physically, I'm more than ready, you know, and emotionally, oh, I'm on fire, you know, I'm on fire with it, you know, because all I ever did was try to be great, you know, and it's no longer trying, I am, you know, I am great. And it's all about just continuing and holding that. So it's all about just staying humble throughout the process, keeping myself level-headed, and really just enjoying each day that we get, because tomorrow's...
A victory over Teofimo Lopez would be a defining moment in Shakur Stevenson's career. Beyond adding another major win to his resume, it would significantly strengthen his position for a future showdown with Gervonta Tank Davis. Many insiders believe defeating a proven star like Lopez would make that matchup inevitable.
Man, what do you say to that, bro? Like, you him, bro. I just can't wait to beat him and shut him up, bro. Tio not on this level. Tio is a high-level fighter, but he's not on my level. I'm a elite-level fighter, and come January 31st, I'm gonna show it.
You've shown respect to him for his performances in the past, what he's done. He's fought guys like Lomachenko and Taylor. You say that he's not on your level. Why do you think you're on just a different level than him?
Because I seen him at his best. Against Taylor, against Lomachenko, he was at his very best. That was the best he can do. I don't think he can do nothing better than that. So
Self-projection.
what I seen from that fight, I feel like I'm way better than them guys. With Lomachenko, like I said, he didn't throw punches for 6
Objection!
For 6 rounds. So if you ain't throw punches for 6 rounds, and you get in front of me,
And you was
I
a
just
fan.
don't know. I would have beat Lomachenko that night.
The final question remains, will Teofimo Lopez's power and aggression be enough to protect his title, or will Shakur Stevenson's technique, control, and intelligence prevail? Fans are left debating which style will triumph on fight night.